Hello everyone, and welcome back. This week we are doing the iodine clock reaction. The experiment today, we will be mixing two colorless solutions, and by result of a chemical kinetics reaction, we will end up with a dark blue to black solution nearly instantaneously. How does this work? So iodine turns blue in the presence of starch. If you've ever had to do the potato dyeing experiment in high school, you know this. Plant cells, starch cells actually, take on a blue hue and mix with iodine. So what is happening in this reaction is there are two types of iodine in our solution once we have mixed it. The type of iodine that turns blue is starch, cornstarch in this case, I2, and iodide ions, I1. But the I2 cannot turn blue until the vitamin C, which has rendered it colorless, has been consumed and exhausted because of the excess of hydrogen peroxide, or by the excess of hydrogen peroxide. So what you need hydrogen peroxide, iodine, vitamin C, cornstarch, distilled water, and 3 clean containers. Mixture A. First, crush the vitamin C and mix it with your distilled water. Mine was still a little cloudy even after straining it twice, but it didn't seem to really affect my final results. Mixture A continued. Next, add about 10 milliliter of iodine to the vitamin C solution. Watching the iodine literally disappear into the vitamin C solution was very cool, especially as someone who works in a veterinary hospital, someone who's had to try to clean this up off of floors. It's impossible to remove from surfaces. It was very impressive. Very important, just a kind of a quick segue. At this point, you may want to take a moment to label your two identical clear solutions. And we'll get started with mixture B. I had a huge container of cornstarch on hand. I know that is way more than the 0.4 grams. It was just for dramatic effect, don't worry. So, mixture B. Mixture B consists of about 0.4 grams of cornstarch, 350 milliliters of distilled water, and 150 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. A note, do not try to squirt 150 milliliters of fluid into your potion. It is hard to measure, and it will take far too long. Simply unscrew the top of the bottle and pour the amount you need. Combining. This is just a quick video of mixture A and B. That PowerPoint says does not exist, but you can find it here on YouTube. It actually took place nearly 40 seconds after I had mixed them. So I had already poured, mixed, so that's 20 seconds by itself. So a full minute it took to change. But by Jove, it worked. Like I said, it took a wee bit longer than I thought it would, but it worked. really dark. I was very surprised. So takeaways from this one. Why did it take so long? My theory is I got my vitamin C concentration a bit wrong, and there was too much of it in comparison to my peroxide. So it took longer for the vitamin C to run out. What surprised me the most, it may seem a little silly, but I was actually really surprised how dark the solution was and how opaque it was. I kind of expected it to be, even after watching the video, to be at least like a dark Gatorade, but it was literally black. Blue vibes. It was like making a potion. 10 out of 10. Would do again. It was a very cool experiment. The way it went, it just blinked. Black, blue, black. It just went the entire bottle. It didn't even just diffuse the color. It just went. That was incredibly interesting. Definitely want to try something like that again. Definitely see what all the hype about it. Definitely was like magic. And then references. The video. I wish I could have tried to replicate what he was doing, where he was able to get it to change as he was pouring it, and it changed instantaneously in both of the containers at the same time. That was really cool. There's no way I would have been able to get that to work. I was lucky I was able to get this to work. I have a track record at this point of not getting things to work. But this was an exciting one. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone next week. Alright, Julia signing off. Bye!